Texas victory for a fantastic crew here in Austin. My partner, Dane Bradshaw. I'm Tom Hart. From the 40 acres to the jungle, it's time for Alabama, Auburn. Dave O'Brien, Corey Alexander, Hall of Famer Dickie V.
Well, it is Auburn and Alabama, and anytime, anywhere, any sport, the rivalry gets everybody's attention. Today they clash for the first time this season at Auburn. It's the SEC on ESPN. And a rivalry as solid as iron. Dave O'Brien alongside a Hall of Famer, Dick Vitale, and Corey Alexander. You have done every possible rivalry under the sun in decades of college basketball. I know where Duke and Carolina rank for you. Where does this one stack up?
Well, it's going to step up as one of the best. So intense. Got really competitive teams all the time and super players. Think about this game. We got the number 1 and 2 scorers in the conference here, and we got the toughest schedule in America. They play number 1 by Bama and number 2 Auburn.
We are underway as Alabama wins the opening tip. The Crimson Tide coming in 15-7. The Auburn Tigers at 14-8, and look for plenty of that today. Out of the corner, knocked down by Wrightsell. The three-point game, Corey, they are made to do it.
Right on schedule. The first possession, great offense for Nate Oates.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Wrightsell made 7 in one game.
Pettiford, a little floater to get Auburn underway. Comes in averaging 13 a game.
Obi, that's a great sign. He hasn't shot the basketball this year the way we were expecting to see from Tahad Pettiford, but getting one to go early could pay big dividends.
Sherrill could not handle the entry pass into the paint, picked off by the Tigers.
I think the key player, when I look at Auburn, has the ball right there. If he has a big day, they have a great chance to win here.
Well, we see the offensive rebound, and that's one of the areas that's been a concern for Alabama all season long. They're being out-rebounded in SEC play.
Also, defensively, they've had some struggles. In their losses, 7 losses, giving up 92 points a game.
Holloway trying to drive around the defender. Shot clock down to 10 for Alabama. Wrightsell looking to penetrate. A leaner, and it rolls off the 10.
Tell you one thing, Dave. Think about this. If Alabama scores 100, they're going to win. They're 6-0 this year. In 6 games, they hit 100.
Long one by Hall. The three-pointer won't go for Keyshawn Hall, who's averaging 21-7. Both of these teams can soar, as Dick pointed out, wriggling inside for the basket. That's Amari Allen.
And a beautiful find from LeBaron Ballon, dropping the dime right there. He has become such a much better player as a facilitator and, of course, the number 1 scorer in the SEC.
Absolutely. Great pass there, and I'll tell you one thing. You look at Allen. Allen was a talented young diaper dandy.
6'8" freshman out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. We know which football team he roots for. Overton couldn't get it to go. It was not deflected. So Alabama in transition. They're averaging 92 points a game. They give up a lot of points, but that offense, you got to run with them if you're going to try and score with them.
And Stephen Pearl made it very clear to us they did not want to run with the Crimson Tide. They want to make sure they take advantage of the opportunities in transition as such.
All going in strong. Rebound picked off by Keyshawn Murphy, who's 6'10". Pettiford got a good look and a whistle on the deck here with 17:22 to go first half.
Tell you, I look at the first few minutes of this game. I don't see them holding the ball. I see them up and down the court. Really, and that's exactly what Alabama wants, to play that tempo. I think it's very difficult to hold the ball against them. They speed it up with the pressure defensively. Pettiford struggling shooting.
All got it inside, swatted away by Sherrill as he went airborne.
Sherrill with now 51 blocks on the season. OB, I believe he had 8 last year. Had 8 in multiple games this season alone.
He's a rim protector.
Got tied up and throws it away. Picked off by Williams Adams, and he goes high for the slam.
Oh, great play right there, man. A terrific play defensively, and he finished it off, and they love it down here, the Tiger fans. Oh, they love it.
Very talented freshman as well from Houston, Texas. Golan trying to get inside. Short jumper won't fall. Overton with the rebound.
Overton, a real key player defensively, and he can stroke the 3. Came from Texas Tech.
10.7 rebounds a game. But the Tigers jumping in the lane, just lost it. Picked up by Holloway. Holloway, the former Auburn Tiger, gives it up for Sherrill, and Hall with the rejection. So both sides with key blocks early.
The pick six. This is what Nate Oates was concerned about. The turnovers that lead to baskets on the other end, the live ball turnovers, are what Alabama has to stay away from. Dickie V, you watched them last week against Florida turn it over 18 times.
Yeah, the live ball turnovers hurt them big in the game. Florida was off the charts. Todd Golden's front court and their backcourt played well. Boogie Flat had a terrific game.
Bedford trying to take the baseline and knocked away. And Charles Bediako's in the game, the 7-footer for Alabama. Major controversy. I think everybody's aware of this. Hanging over today's game. He is embroiled in a dispute about whether or not the former NBA G Leaguer should be allowed to even play college basketball. After 3 years as a professional, I want to get both of your opinions on this because everybody's hot about it one way or the other, depending on who you talk to. Belong 6'4" sophomore, the one-hander to knock that down. Dickey, should he be allowed to play?
Well, you know, I think you got to go by the book. And the book says very, very black and white that you sign a two-way contract, you play in the G League, you're not eligible. It's as simple as that. And I think the one thing that's going to help the NCAA in their battle is they got the endorsement of Greg Sankey, the commissioner. I think the fact that he has jumped in and said, we don't need guys that sign with NBA teams in our league.
Overton knocking down a long-distance three. And the Tigers have the offense going on top 11-7. Corey, your thought?
Well, when I look at it, OB, what I consider is there was someone, whether it was a court, whether it was the NCAA, that deemed earlier this season that Charles Bediako was eligible to play. And so whomever that was is now responsible for the action. He's available right now, and Nate Oates nor Alabama have broken any rules. They are last to abide by the rules that have been set before them.
I'll tell you what, before the game, the Auburn fans certainly made their opinion known, chanting G League dropout, and Bediako came onto the court. More in a moment. Dickey's shooting jump shots. He made a couple of those. Had a very nice tribute for you here on the big board, here on the Plains. That was awfully nice.
Yeah, it was really nice of them. I'll tell you, I can't thank the people enough. You know, it's been a battle, beating cancer, fighting cancer. Wherever I go, the warmth of the people it's great medicine. To be honest with you, it's great medicine. And remember all cancer patients out there, always think positive and have faith. And fight your ass off.
Alabama with the turnover. So far, they've only shot 1 3 to start this game.
Well, they've turned the basketball over, OB. That's been a struggle for Alabama. The 5th turnover already in the first 5 minutes of this game.
Swung up top for Overton to let fly. Got it. Another triple.
He can shoot the ball. He really can stroke it, Curry. Not as good as you, but he can stroke it.
Billon trying to answer and does from way downtown.
Boy, they can answer with the 3-ball. You don't want to get in a shootout with them, I'll tell you that. They shot 48 threes the other day in beating a good Texas A&M team, 100-97.
And that's the pace that they want to play at. They want to make sure they play fast. And Stephen Pearl telling his team, if we have something early in transition, let's take it. But we don't want to get caught up in taking bad shots, especially the one that Hall was about to take over that double team.
Overton again. Trying to get on a heater early. Rebound plucked away by Auburn, but taken right back by Alabama, and the theft by Reitzel. Houston Mullet in the game at 6'5" for Alabama.
He can shoot the ball, Mullet.
Milan, probably one of the more underrated players in the country at 21 points and 5 assists a game, and that'll go the other way. That will be Auburn ball. 13:29 left in the first half.
It's interesting. The first 7 minutes of this game, basically, Hall has not shot a free throw. He has really incredible going to the free throw.
Well, the officials are going to go over and look and see if this is anything extracurricular on Bediako. As right now they're sending both teams to the sidelines. They wanted to go over and review the foul against Bediako. Does he make contact to the head above the neck area of Freeman, trying to get in to box him out?
Bediako wearing number 14, tying up there with Freeman.
Freeman didn't look like too happy there, I'll tell you that.
Now, of course, these days coaches get a challenge, but you have coaches' appeals which are different. Coach doesn't need a timeout. He can ask officials to review timing errors, flagrant fouls, correctable errors.
And so it looks as though maybe this is the possibility of going over to see, was there a hook and hold? Bediako, who had his arm caught up, but of course a taller player than Freeman. And I'm not sure if they're looking to see. Oh, they're looking at this to see what both of these guys could be honestly guilty of a hook and hold. It was Freeman actually first, but then Bediako at the end. So as their arms get entangled, I believe they're actually looking to see if that's a hook and hold there on Bediako.
Now Bediako, now 23 years old.
Played 3 years in the G League.
For a hook and hold, the Alabama ball on the baseline.
So it will be Bama ball.
Yes, so they did get Freeman first. And so as Freeman came in, he was originally the person that grabbed the arm of Bediako, but you saw Bediako later grab as well. So if you watch the initial, watch the right arm of Freeman right there, hooking Bediako.
Yeah, he hooks.
So with that being the first infraction, that's the one that the officials go with.
They did a good job on it. They did a real good job.
Alabama to check it in. Bediako, and the pass just got there to Holloway, who's so dangerous beyond the three-point line. Doesn't shoot it. Shot clock inside 10 for Bama. Holloway making 44% beyond the three-point line. Will drive it instead. Bediako going over the top and now clutching at a knee.
You heard his knee.
Able to get to his feet, a foul on the play.
Everyone in the building wanting that to be an over-the-back foul. However, that's big bank beats little bank anytime. You got a 7-footer with the reach going over top of a 6-foot guard trying to box him out. And again, as Pettiford is actually moving underneath Bediako once he's in the air, so therefore Pettiford gets the foul on that possession.
Amari Allen to check it in. Holloway thought about a quick shot, but one-hander, no. Freeman with the rebound. And another whistle.
They love the potential of Freeman. They really think he's got a great, great future.
Freeman went to, as we get an opportunity to see Nate Oates in his 7th season as the head coach at Alabama, at a 7-7 record versus Auburn in what I believe is the best rivalry in the SEC. When you consider these two teams as well as Tennessee tied, 160 wins over the last 7 seasons, and two of the best programs in the SEC, 9 championships combined over the last several years.
Number 1 and number 2 a year ago. A little fall away won't go for Hall. Those were a couple of great basketball games when they met in the regular season a year ago. Holloway gives it up. Jumper on the way, and that'll roll off by Jemison. Second effort now for Holloway. He's coming off an all-around standout game this week against Texas A&M. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists and just 1 turnover. Jovic bats that one away, and a foul committed. So a lot of whistles here in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
You know, you mentioned earlier Nate Oates, what he's done at Alabama. I mean, it's incredible. You look at his 7-year record. He's got the most wins in 7 years in terms of in the SEC over anyone. He's been in the Final Four, first in the history of the school, in a 31-game win season. He's done a terrific job.
And this is now the 10th Final Four coach that Stephen Pearl has coached against in his inaugural season at Auburn.
That's not bad. You know this?
We'll draw the foul. Hey, Dad, you want to step aside? Take a look at the schedule first, huh?
Yeah, he made the toughest schedule they've had in years. Number 1 is Alabama's toughest schedule. He's 5-4 against the Final Four coaches, 9 of them.
Not bad at all.
Auburn on top, 14-10 in the rivalry in the SEC.
Gillette Labs is just a fancy-looking Fusion 5?
The career high in his last game here in Neville Arena.
I was here with
points,
Crow,
yeah.
I was here with Crow Ravitch and Jimmy Dykes, and I'm telling you, he silenced this crowd. Unbelievable Sears. He's not playing in G League.
16-10 Auburn. Alabama's offense right now pretty chilly.
Then we saw a picture of Bruce Pearl. I know one thing. He's jumping up and down. We know we got one fan watching, because I guarantee he's watching, and he's scrutinizing the whole action. He's in TV trying to steal money like I have.
Sherrill had to adjust his shot in heavy traffic. And here comes Pettiford on the drive with the left hand. The scoop won't go.
It's really a struggle for him right now shooting. He's shooting 18% in conference play from the 3. He's too talented for that.
He is,
He's too good.
But when you consider the fact that he was probably the 5th or 6th option on that Final Four team a season ago, now he was number 1 coming in. It's a different type of defense guarding Pettiford right now.
That's a good point, Corey. I'll tell you one thing. He played some really big moments last year and made some big plays. Even this year, in 3 of their big wins, beating St. John's, they beat Arkansas, they beat Florida. He came up big with some big plays.
Now, Alabama, the number 1 toughest schedule in the country. Auburn, number 2 coming into this one. Boy, that's a tough drive, and up and in by Reitzel.
Reitzel, very good player. He did put the ball on the deck, go to the goal, and he could also stroke the 3. Had 7 in one game recently.
Yep. Reitzel, who was part of the Final Four team for Alabama 2 years ago, he actually spoke to the team in practice yesterday, OB, and was talking to the team about the adversity that they faced with that team, but how they continue to get better as the season went along.
Freeman with a pull-up jumper, knocks it down.
He's a versatile player. He is a versatile player. Came here, transfer, could go inside, outside, big touch.
Dickie B, have you ever in your coaching days?
Murphy busting through the defense, slams it down after the turnover.
Hello, the elevator man. Did you jump like that, Corey?
I actually could, believe it or not.
You had some good
A
hop.
long time ago.
He had 7 years in the NBA, man.
Milan looking to answer. Alabama needs somebody to get hot, as Auburn opens it up to an 8-point advantage. He'll drive it, and against tough D, knocks it in.
Great body control by Falan, attacking the basket right there, taking advantage of the mismatch. Keyshawn Murphy, a very good defender, but tough for him going up against the SEC's leading scorer at the top of the key.
Not only that, he's rated to be a top 15 choice in the NBA draft. Philon. Philon's a very lethal offensive player.
Yeah, that's going to be flagrant.
Slammed it now. We'll see. There was no signal immediately, but it certainly had the earmarks of a certain basket.
Well, I think it already says unnecessary. And again, you don't want him to be able to get the bucket, but the result of the fall, etc., I think this is going to be an easy one for the officials to deem this a flagrant 1. I don't think it's a flagrant 2. But you can see Overton already saying, my bad, as he grabs around the shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I don't think this should take long.
That's an easy one because, man, I can see with one eye. I got one eye and I can see that. Are you kidding me? Look at Perel. Look.
Well, Stephen Pearl's always going to fight for his guys. That's one thing we know for certain. But Overton is already looking, and he's pretty much pled guilty to this one. Whenever a player is in front of you,
2 free throws and the ball for Alabama.
So that's the ruling, a flagrant, and 2 foul shots, and the ball, a flagrant 1.
probably the easiest review Doug Showers has ever had to go over and look at.
But it has gotten very physical. 9:40 to go. The fouls starting to pile up between Bama and Auburn, and still to come, of course, on the docket tonight. North Carolina hosting Duke at 6:30.
Wow. Tennessee, Kentucky, another interesting game. So Houston and BYU. We got all kinds of great hoops for you, baby. ESPN. Talk about hoops. You got to tune in to the ESPN network. What an unbelievable triple header that is.
Huge. Allen at the line, 75%. And the freshman knocking those down.
Dickie B, we got to keep an eye on this right now. This could be a 4 or 5 point possession for Alabama. And when you consider the fact that they've turned the basketball over already 7 times in this game, Auburn has scored 13 points off those 7 turnovers, but yet Auburn only has a 4-point lead, which could get cut into even more here if they're able to score this possession.
They turned over the ball a lot. Also, in that game in Florida I did last week, they were turning it over 18 times.
Inbounded for Sherrell, and a nice inbounds play to strike.
4-point possession for Alabama. And now you're looking at a 1-possession game, a 2-point game after the turnover and the flagrant foul.
Bedford bouncing for Hall, the 6'7" senior.
He's been quiet, really quiet.
Freeman lofts one up there. Got a good look and a whistle again. Nothing free today. Bama on a little 6-0 run.
You know, Hall usually gets to their free throw line. He's on record right now, possibly, to the all-time free throw attempts and made here at Auburn for his season.
And imagine to be able to break that record, and I'm not sure who holds it, but we do know the round mound and rebound played here. We know how physical he was.
Yep.
He probably just saying he didn't get as many calls.
Back shot up and in, and Hall headed to the line. Something Sir Charles did often in his career here.
He does a great job using his body, Hall. He gets fouled often, goes to the line like 8 times a game. By the way, I do know who held the record. He played for the Detroit Pistons. John Mengo. He was unbelievably, you talk about a competitor, tough as can be, tenacious. He was a guard, about 6'2".
Did you coach him with the Pistons?
No.
I'm not sure many people realize that you at one point were the head coach of the Detroit Pistons.
Holloway penetrates and lays it up and in, just beat the defense.
Boy, Holloway, he's really drives a lot better than he did early in his career. We know he can stroke the 3. You better check him big time.
How about these two guys? With Pettiford coming here was part of the reason why Holloway decided to transfer to Alabama. Both McDonald's All-American point guards. And Holloway, I believe Bruce Pearl thinking was going to be a one-and-done coming in and recruited as the next guy over top.
Keyshawn Hall buries that one. He's 41% out there, Dick.
I'll tell you what, 41%. You know what's amazing? You look at it, he lost 80 pounds from years ago. 80 pounds. He's been at 4 schools. He was at George Mason, UNLV. He's been at UCF, where he led the Big 12 in scoring. You lead the Big 12 in scoring, you got some talent, some multiple skills.
Absolutely, and I tell you right now, even though he averages over 20 points per game, that wouldn't lead the Big 12 in scoring this year. There's a freshman by the name of A.J. DeBonta who's leading the country in scoring at 23.9 a game.
Should he be the number 1 pick?
Yes.
Okay.
But he's not the National Player of the Year.
That's Carlos Boozer. Carlos Boozer should be the National Player of the Year, and DeMonte would be my choice as the first player taken, followed by Peterson.
That'll go the other way. 7:54 to go here in the first half, and Auburn with a 6-point lead. Foul will go on Freeman, his second.
Oh, take a look at that. That's my top 4. Wow, the monster we got right there. Certainly, we talk about Peterson, I love his scoring ability, and Mr. Cameron Boozer. Caleb Wilson, 4.
Right now they have 41 points with 3 minutes left in the half.
Over on ESPN, #1 Arizona rolling.
And we talk about a lot of other guards, but Jaden Bradley for the #1 team, 44% from the three-point line. He leads them in assists and steals.
.734 left here in the first half at Auburn, and a big slam by Bediako moments ago.
Ran a nice backdoor cut, really.
Hall barely nicking the iron with a jumper, and now Alabama in transition.
Hall has a way of using his body. He's leading it there, hoping for a foul call.
And that's one of the things that Nate Oates talked to his team about, defending without fouling, and don't fall for the tricks when Hall is attacking the basket.
He goes to the line a lot, man. Unbelievable.
Allen way downtown. Off the back of the iron and one and done.
They want the kids to live to play for Alabama because they know one thing. They're going to have the license to shoot the rock. You would have loved that, Corey.
Oh, I didn't even need the license, Dickie V. But I would have loved to have had it.
And Sharlock out of the corner could not hit. And he'll commit the foul here, trying to hold up Holloway. Got to go back to the 14-20 mark, the last time Alabama made a 3 in this one. Now, Latrell Wrightsell was helped off the floor just a couple of moments ago during the timeout. Over the top, we talked about Bediako with that slam. Alabama's had some injury problems, major injury problems, and he's missed 8 games this year.
He's missed 8 games. They only have one player, Houston Mallett, who played in every game this season. Everyone on this roster, for the most part, has had to miss time with injuries. And you mentioned Wrightsell having missed 8 games, and he's a returner from their Final Four team 2 seasons ago. He missed most of last year with injury.
Trying to get it downtown underneath here to Bediako. That's going to be a loss of possession, and it'll go the other way. It'll be Auburn ball. So they're keen on getting it into the 7-footer and trying to get him involved in the offense.
And you see, like,
look at the mismatch.
Battling.
Look at the mismatch size-wise.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the guard battling and trying not to allow Bediako to get position wins the battle on that possession.
Oh, what a
Carlos Hall down the lane with the one-handed slam.
That guy's got scoring ability. You can see it. He's probably right now mid-second round pick. He's got to do a better job defensively.
Falau with Overton on him. Pretty good battle between those two. Here's Allen lining up a 3. Not there. Bediako went for the rebound, and it's tipped out of play off his leg.
Keyshawn Hall attacking the basket. No resistance at the rim. Aiden Sherrill has to be pulled out of the play. No one there to challenge Hall at the rim.
That's been one of the stories all year. When they're 7 losses, they give up over 90 points a game. They don't do a great job communicating to one another and helping defensively. They really feel in their mind, we're going to score 100 and beat them.
Well, and that's the difference with this team. Nate Oates has always had great offensive teams, but the teams that have gone on to the Final Four and been very successful have been able to do it defensively as well.
Well, again, now it clangs away, but a whistle, a foul, and a rebounding fray.
You know what's great about this time of the year? We're getting some great matchups in conference play. Last night, Friday night, the Garden was rocking and rolling, man. Madison Square Garden. Yeah, Dan Hurley, shy, introverted on one side, and then Mr. Patino on the other side. And I'm telling you, it was unbelievable. And Patino's guys won a big game, beat a really good Connecticut team. And you know what? Common denominator here, both these teams. Rick, I hope you don't hear me. I know you don't want to hear this, Rick. Both these teams beat St. John's this year.
The first ranked win for Stephen Pearl as a head coach came against St. John's earlier this year, and Alabama beat St. John's in the second game of the season. So as you mentioned, that common denominator, having that win, which will be a very quality win at the end of the season.
Well, LeBaron Falau with the basket there. Give him 9.
They're doing a great job driving the ball to the goal. They're being played so tough on the perimeter, it gives that option, makes that available to take the ball to the rack. Don't force the three.
Give Auburn's defense a lot of credit, too, for being able to run them off of that three-point line, understanding that that's what Alabama's looking for.
Man, that was a determined shot by Philip Jovic, a 6'8" freshman from Bosnia.
Wow, what a play there. A little bit Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with a little hook shot.
All the way around the back, bumping, grinding, got it up there and hit it. He is a tough player.
He really is, and you got to be thinking how important it is for Aiden Holloway coming into this building, playing against his former school, and now he's one of the guys.
And right now he's trying to be a lawyer. He's running back on defense, talking to the referee. Come on, give me a free throw on that baby. Come on.
Jovic out of traffic into the corner. Marshalik will drive it. Knocked away from him, and Alabama comes away with it. So the Tide down 4 here on the Plains. Galan took some contact, got it up there. A lot of iron, but it falls away.
Ball hasn't been on the foul line yet, has he? I don't believe he's been on the foul line.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Overton outside. 3:45 to go here in the first half. Overton, again contact. You're going to get hit. You're going to get bumped. Are you strong enough to make the shot in a game like this?
Overton's a really solid player. Came from Texas Tech.
Sherrill rejected. Overton again, going in strong. Can't finish it. 3:25 to go. It'll stay on this end.
It's been great action, OB and Dickie V. Jovic with the ability to go back to the basket, able to score over the shot blocker in Sherrill. Little light flex here in the crowd. Points, a key to the success of the Crimson Tide.
Bo Bowen missed the Texas A&M game with a leg injury. He got knocked around a little bit early in this game. Galan going up there with the pass and the slam. Bediako nailing that one, the 7-footer.
Galan with a beautiful find as he got into the painted area. I'm sure most people thought that was a shot, but he understands Bediako can go well above the rim to finish it off.
Oh, with a kick out for Overton. Thought he got fouled on the play as it came off his hand awkwardly, but no whistle. Alabama with some nice momentum here down the stretch of the first half. Get another triple in the air, and it's Mullen again.
The 3-ball, baby, the 3-ball. They can shoot it as best as anybody in the nation. They absolutely live by the 3. That's their success.
So this one heating up in the last seconds of the first half. Raining threes out of the corner. Overton with the triple.
Overton's a known shooter. Comes in with a big reputation. Got to stroke the rock.
Galan with a drive. Lost it, and he was hit on the play. Draws the foul. No basket. 4.2 seconds. And a whistle stopping play as he went on a determined drive to the paint.
And Galan ended up passing that one away. So it'll be a 1-and-1 at the free throw strike in comparison to 2 shots if he were able to get it on the glass. But the SEC's leading scorer starting to heat up here, not only with the scoring, but his playmaking as well at the end of the first half.
Missing that front end. Chance for a heave here at the halftime horn. Got it up, and it will not go. The shot by Pettiford. So we are at the break at Auburn, and the Tigers have a 41-37 lead on the Crimson Tide. Auburn 11-1 this year when leading at halftime. And in a huge rivalry game, we're ready for the second half. 41-37, Auburn leading Alabama.
Think about it.
Yeah, Alabama's a team that makes 13 a game.
They also shot the last game. They took 48 threes. 48 threes.
Yeah, Texas A&M. Well, Keyshawn Hall gets Auburn started with a basket here in the second half. Very much a go-to guy for the Tigers at 21 a game. Holloway airborne, couldn't hit that shot. Alabama made a really nice run down the stretch of the first half. to close the gap. The lead had gotten as high as 10 for the Tigers.
Using the 3-ball. They used the 3-ball at the end of the half really
Over to the draw foul here in the opening seconds of the second half.
What has happened, basically, the coaching philosophy of Steve has been one that, you know, we're going to challenge their three-point shooters. We're going to make them have to drive the basketball, and that's what they've been doing, Alabama's, using the drive.
Dickie B, the Auburn had a week off since their last game. They played at Tennessee last Saturday, had a week off. One of the things that they worked on throughout this week was their closeouts. And Stephen Pearl made it very clear that they had to close out, but not recklessly. They can't jump at every three-point attempt. So they worked on their closeouts and also making sure they found ways to run Alabama off that three-point line.
And it seems that it's working right here. Just like his philosophy down there beating Florida. Florida's won like 8 out of 9. That was their only loss in terms at home. And that spell.
LeBaron Fallon gives it up. Allen will swing it. Holloway averaging 17 a game. Beats Hall on the drive and lays it in. He's quick.
We haven't seen him shoot the 3-ball because they're checking him like you can't believe. They've read the scouting report we talked about in the first half, and they're saying, you're going to have to beat us with the drive. You know what? Holloway says, I can drive the rock, baby.
Dickie V, 43.8% from 3. He's 13th nationally. When a guy shoots it that well, you follow him off the bus. Don't allow him to have any room for 3.
Right in that face, baby. You better get right in his face. But he's added a real driving game to his arsenal.
He really has. And when you look at these two guards, this dynamic backcourt from Alabama, neither of these guys practiced yesterday. They weren't able to do much. They're playing through injury. Fallon was injured with a thigh bruise in the Texas A&M game that he dealt with earlier this season. And Holloway dealing with a left wrist issue. But both these guys not going to miss this rivalry game.
Wright still lost to a leg injury in the first half for Alabama, so they're really getting tested here in this road game. 10 to shoot. Holloway over the top. Sherrill in the paint. Made a mistake of putting that to the deck. A loose ball and a tie-up on the play. Possession arrow will keep it on this end.
You know, Sherrill, a big guy, like 6'11". When he put the ball to the deck, he becomes a 5'10" guard.
But look at the size on the floor now with Bediako and Sherrill together. Now Sherrill checks out as Millette comes back on the floor. But Nate Oates going with the double big lineup against a smaller Auburn squad.
Nate Oates has used 12 different starting lineups this season. It's the most different combinations he has ever used at Alabama.
Well, that's because of injuries a lot, too. The injury factor certainly has set in down there in Tuscaloosa. He's making an adjustment.
Don't you love when Dickie B gets back to his coaching days and says, you put it to the deck, you become 5'10". I love that. You know he was coaching that way. And the three-pointer on the money to make it 44-42. Look out if Bama gets that going.
But the disgust on the face of Stephen Pearl after he watched that 3 go in, looking at Murphy, wondering why he gave so much room to knock down the 3.
Murphy handing off for Freeman. Freeman finds an opening, swatted away and a foul.
He got fouled before the block shot.
The block by Bediako, the 7-footer from Ontario. Just a handful of games amidst the controversy about whether he should be allowed to play. Mullet will pick up the personal.
Said it once, I'll say it once again. Bottom line is you got to follow the rule book. The rule book in the NCAA simply states very easily, if you sign a 2-way contract, you play in the G League 3 years like he did, you're ineligible. I don't know what more can be pointed out. If we don't respect the eligibility of the rules, and that is the argument of Greg Sankey, who I absolutely admire as a leader. Most of the leaders in their conference would take the defense of their team and their player, and he came out right out and said, I support the NCAA.
Speaking of Greg Sankey and the SEC, huge women's matchup going down tomorrow when you consider Tennessee going to South Carolina on Super Bowl Sunday. Super matchup.
Slam as he rolls to the basket. Bediako with an easy one.
Well, he's got a couple of easy ones today, but he's made it easy by moving really well without the ball. I mean, let's face reality. He's a big help to this team. There's no doubt about it. Hasn't shown record-wise yet, but you get a 7-1 player. There isn't a coach in the country who would not have played that kid if declared eligible, as he was by certainly that judge.
And we have to go back to our conversation with Nate Oates. it wasn't Alabama that came up with this idea. There were players who were starting to be deemed eligible well before the idea of Charles Bediako coming back to Alabama became in play. So with other players being deemed eligible is when they started to research it. Bediako, who Nate Oates makes it very clear, he is one of ours. Bediako is there to get an education. He is getting to play basketball, but if he is deemed ineligible, he will stay at Alabama to get his degree.
I'll say this, you're right about that, except one thing. Bottom line is those players you're alluding to, they didn't sign two-way contracts.
Pettiford sticks a triple. He's their most prolific three-point man, just 7 points in this one, but opens it back up to 6 points for the Tigers. Holloway, and that'll be knocked out of play on the deflection by Jovic.
You know, you can feel the intensity, the passion that these players play with. It's like the atmosphere of a tournament game. It really is.
Yeah, when you think about these two teams going at it, the rivalry that it already is, and what is becoming a basketball state. We know how important football is in the state of Alabama, but when you got these two programs, basketball is going to the top of the charts.
Really high quality.
That's
really high quality in Alabama.
Point.
Holloway leaves it off for Bediako off the hesitation, and he makes the shot. He'll head to the line.
Three-point play. He's a factor here today. There ain't no doubt about it. He's a factor here today.
It's almost like he has been listening to the criticism that, yeah, you know what, though? What's all the fuss about? He hasn't done a whole lot yet. He's getting it done today.
He's getting it done today, and a lot of this could be the byproduct of the chant. Listen up.
G League dropout. They've been all over him today.
Don't need that. Don't need it, man. Don't need
Three-point
it.
play.
And that's how he was greeted coming into the building today. When you have that type of response for a player, it can go one of two ways. And as of late, it has not gone in favor of the Tiger
It
favorite.
can motivate you big time.
Yes.
It inspire you.
Do you want to wake a sleeping 7-footer? Jovic up top. Here's Pettiford, who just nailed a three moments ago. Keeping the dribble, he'll scoop it up and in.
Nice drive right there, baby. Go for the basket. He's got to get that jump shot going. I think a lot of it is percentage so down. 18% in conference play is shot selection. I think a lot of that. Last year, I saw him stroke the ball pretty good.
Allen, the freshman. Shot clock to 9. And that's just going to go out of play where Bo Bowen thought he had contact and a foul, but no whistle there.
Tell you one thing about Pettiford. He was a big-time high school player. Played at Hudson Catholic. And you know, played at Hudson Catholic, I think I'm right. I hope I'm right. Michael Corin and Jim Sparnackel. That is Carolina and Duke guys.
Well, the pregame may have gotten him going. They were ringing it in his ears. G League dropout. But today, here on the Plains, car raffle for a $100 donation to the very best of causes. You can get in and be driving that thing.
Wow. Hey, get those raffle chances. It helps kids battling cancer. All the dollars go to V Foundation for pediatric cancer research. Just simply, you want a chance, we're going to sell out. Go to v.org/Vital Raffle. v.org/Vital Raffle. Get those chances, Alabama Auburn fans. Help kids battling cancer.
All getting down where he likes it and knocks in a couple to make it 54-47.
Bruce Pearl, Nick Saban, they've helped me big time at my gala. They've both been honored at my gala. And both gave us big dollars.
Whistle on the play. When you and I were working with Charles Barkley, which was one of the great nights we have ever had. You talk about a prince of a human being. He was talking about, meeting Saban and being at your gala and everything else. And what an impressive guy Saban is in person.
Yes, great guys. Nick is just a beautiful guy, man. He's a big ass at the ESPN.
Banked in. Jemison with the basket. 5-point game.
We start talking about Charles Barkley, and you consider, Charles Barkley is probably the biggest celebrity that doesn't act like a celebrity.
I agree.
He's just a great guy.
And when you consider the fact that he is a product of this great school, and think about the talent that was on campus here on the Plains when he was here.
My neighbor,
Your
Frank
neighbor,
Thomas.
Right, Frank Thomas. Of course, the great Bo Jackson. I mean, those three, the best of the best when you consider alumni that schools have put out.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Unreal. Jefferson in the corner and swishes it in.
They can make that corner shot. They really work on that corner three. I sent a picture, by the way, to Frank Thomas today of his statue. I stood there, he got a big kick out of that. His son is
one big statue, by the way. You say his son's a player.
His son's a baseball player. He's going to be coming here in 2027. He's a junior.
Hall will airmail that one, and Alabama on the run. Trying to push it. Jefferson getting into the flow of the offense and lays it in.
The importance of that possession now, throughout this stretch, we watched Alabama fight back to one possession, etc. But now that allows them to tie the basketball game. That has not happened since early in this game. You look at the fact that Alabama has found a way in the second half to take care of the basketball. And now, the first time this game has been tied since it was 2-2 early.
Wow.
The last time Alabama led, it was 5-4. Jovich off to Overton. Bedford turns to fire. Can't bury it.
That's a tough time shooting that three, man.
And then Jefferson with another nice save in the corner. He's been a big pick-me-up for Nate Oates. Downstairs, Sherrell.
He grabbed him.
He got grabbed big time, 13:41 to go.
And I think there's difference between that one. Now, they'll probably still go over and look at it, but I'm not sure that this will be upgraded to a flagrant one. And the reason being is because Sherrell was still on the ground and never had attempted to jump.
But it was an intentional foul.
So when you see this, okay, watch, he's still on the ground, and now at that point, Hall is really trying to catch himself from falling. It'd be interesting to see how they play this one, but I don't think this will come back.
Everybody wants to know.
But the referees know.
The referees are about to know as they have an official review and they're going to replay this. We had one upgraded to a flagrant one early in the game. This one tied at 54.
I agree with Corey. I don't think it was a flagrant one. But there's no doubt he should get 2 shots.
And there really wasn't much unnecessary. And here's another thing. If Sherrell now attempts to go up and shoot that basketball with force, so here as Hall's coming down, he's holding on. And so the foul is committed before Sherrell really gets into his shooting action. So most likely they'll come away with this with a common foul.
After review, we're upgrading the common foul to a flagrant 1 foul on number 7.
Well, there I'm going.
2 free throws.
So you 1 for 2.
I'm at 50% now.
Well, you won.
So there's a flagrant one. The crew today, Doug Shows, Owen Short, and Vladimir Voyer-Tadal. And so we'll have foul shots coming. And Owen over to explain this in a little more detail.
Yeah, appreciate Owen Short coming over. And the reason that it was upgraded was because it was unnecessary contact above the shoulders to the head. And that I really didn't get a chance to see in the first. That's an automatic. So I didn't really see that during the replay. But now I understand that being upgraded to a flagrant one is here. You see Hall trying to catch himself as he comes down, but he does hit Sherrell on the top of the head. So that's why it was upgraded. Great job by this officiating crew. And also a good thing that I'm not an official.
Sherrell's second one. He makes the pair, and of course they'll have the ball as well.
Well, 1 for 2.
And tonight, before Warriors-Lakers on ABC, Ernie Kenny, Auburn legend Charles Barkley, and Shaq tipping off coverage at 8 o'clock. They'll also be back at 11 Eastern to break it all down and anything else that was big in the association.
And Charles sent it out to the Super Bowl.
By the way, these Sir Charles hoodies going around out here, we need to contact Chuck and see if we can get one of those. I got to send him a picture of his statue that I took over.
We need 3 of them. Williams-Adams.
Oh, great hands.
Taken away by Mullet.
Great play by Mullet, man. That was a great defensive transition play. They had
tipped
a layup.
Up by Pettiford. So defense is ratchet up here on both sides.
It really has, Obi, and that's the reason why Alabama now has a lead in this rivalry game. Great job by Mullet getting that left hand on the basketball and, more importantly, not fouling. There it is. Chuck, we need 3 of those.
Sir Charles, Well, I got one right now. I sent a picture to Charles Wood, and he sent me back a little text message laughing. He's, I like that. I like that.
So you already have one, is what you're telling. OB, how do we get left off that list?
Not sure. I'm personally hurt. It's one of my partners that what a night we had at Kentucky with Charles Barkley. But Alabama now on top, 58-54. They have turned the tide here. Way downtown, Pettiford, nothing but net.
I like that. He needed that. I think, Corey, you were a shooter, a scorer. I think psychologically he sees those numbers and it affects you mentally every time you shoot it.
Bediako with the return.
You can see how jubilant he was when he made that.
Yeah,
it felt so good to see nothing but nylon. Yes, sir.
Alabama on a 13-3 run to take the lead here at Auburn in the last couple of minutes.
And now look, Dickie B, defensively, Bama going to a zone defensively right now. Nate Oates switching it up. And I love it when coaches do that in the second half, not to give the opposing coach a chance to match it.
Overton knocks one down.
But against the zone, you've always got to find that young man. Watch him make 6 threes here in the ACC-SC Challenge against NC State.
Overton really likes that zone. He's a shooter, man. Get spacing in that zone, he's going to drill it.
Tied at 60.
What passion this place. You can feel it. I can feel it. Look at this. Look at this. Big shots.
Man, I think he's very underappreciated outside of the SEC.
Obi, I had an opportunity to work with him at the Chris Paul Elite Point Guards Camp this summer. I knew how good he was. I'm not sure that many people do, but NBA scouts absolutely know how good he is. He will be a first-round pick this year.
21 a game. Pettiford with a quick answer.
Okay, Pettiford stepping it up, man. He's stepping it up. There's no doubt Fryland's a top 15 pick.
He has it swatted away, batted around, and controlled by the Tigers.
That's been an issue for Fallon in this game, though. He had 5 turnovers in that Florida game that you were talking about, and now he's struggling with the basketball. 4 turnovers in this one to offset what he's been able to do with the 14 points.
Auburn trying to take the lead back. Way downtown, knocked home by Pettiford.
Oh, Mr. Pettiford's heating it up. He said those stats are going to go up and up. No, he's no 18% shooter at 3-point range. No way.
17 points for him. Allen, yes, a 3.
As a diaper dandy, he's a good one.
But Tahad Pettiford just puts his head down in disappointment that he allowed Allen to shoot that 3. The scouting report of Stephen Pearl says do not let him have it.
Look at that.
This ball, great effort there. Bediako in traffic. Can't make the shot, but draws the foul, and he'll be headed to the line with 10:17 to go. They're throwing haymakers at each other, and still to come. Talking about haymakers, Duke and North Carolina. That game at Chapel Hill to get underway when this one is finished, coming up at 6:30. Meanwhile, here on the Plains, both sides starting to nail those threes in a tight one.
Oh, baby, he loves it, loves it. He loves it.
She's still out. I found an apartment.
It's a lot closer.
You got the law. You got the law. You got the law.
With the Fuel Forward app, the more discounts you stack, the more you save.
Feels good to save. I know, right?
How low can you go?
Are you Marsha?
I am. I am.
Thanks for meeting me here. Usually not an interweb dating guy. Barely ever use this phone computer. Unless it's to bundle my insurance with Liberty Bibbity.
Oh, same. I hate this thing, but it's true. You can save hundreds bundling with Bibbity.
Bibbity?
Bibbity?
Bibbity.
Bibbity.
Are you hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some lasagna.
And some cannolis.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Meet Jam,
She's enjoying a beautiful day outdoors with friends and family. She's also managing her type 2 diabetes by taking Jardiance, the little pill with a big story to tell. You see, once daily Jardiance can help lower your A1C. Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and infection between and around the anus and genitals. Both may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in men and women, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness, or swelling between the anus and genitals. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
So ask your doctor about Jardiance, the little pill with a big story to tell.
Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors. Easy to apply for the whole family. Vicks VapoStick. And try Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Enjoy 20% off store-wide.
10 minutes to go here at Auburn. Anybody's game. Alabama with a 1-point advantage. They're getting it done off the bench today, Dick.
Yeah, 27 points off the bench. They got 9 players. People are scoring. They're all sharing. They got talent, man. They tell them 1 to 10. They bring players. They knows how to recruit. He's brought top 15 classes on a regular basis to Tuscaloosa.
Also taking into consideration with Reitzel out of the lineup, a starter. Without him, they've had to rely on more guys coming off the bench. Jemison has stepped up. Bediako has stepped up in this game. They've gotten great production when they've had to go to the reserves.
Bediako making 1 of 2 there. Bama by 2.
Yeah, Corey, you read about that. Reitzel's a key player. Guy can stroke the 3, score up the drive.
Hall between the legs, fires it up there. In and out. Rebounded away by Phelan.
Phelan is so talented. You're right, yo. Obi, you're right. He deserves more national publicity.
Off the rim and a whistle and a rebounding fray with 9:47 on the clock here. And a 2-point lead for Alabama. And still to come, the Tigers highlighting our SEC Network Tuesday night. A doubleheader. They'll be hosting number 15 Vanderbilt. 7 o'clock Eastern, so already playing one of the top 2 schedules in America. And number 21 Arkansas against LSU, ESPN and the app.
Then we got the number 1 toughest schedule for Alabama. Number 2, Kenny Pomeroy does a great job.
How about the body control of LeBaron and Phelan going to the basket, but his ability to decelerate on 1 foot and wait for a defender to foul him.
See, only a former player like you who started at Virginia can analyze and break that down because you know that feeling.
Because
I never drove like that.
But Saddiqui B, the reason I say that is because thinking about doing that right now hurts just thinking about it for me. So I can only imagine what's it like. But you talked about Alabama's schedule. Look at this. Look who they've been able to play throughout this season.
Now they've beaten St. John's, Illinois, Clemson, and Texas A&M. And how about Auburn's schedule? Ranked number 2. Second toughest schedule.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. Thanks. You enjoying all the food they give you in that studio, having a blast, and I got to be sweating and churning. My whole weekend is going to determine by what happens here this afternoon.
Not only lost, they lost their entire starting lineup from the Final Four team. Nicely done by Sherrell underneath.
Sherrell has got some talent.
And you look
block
at the fact
shots.
But there are 2 freshmen on the floor right now for Alabama. You think about Jemison and another freshman, Sebastian Williams-Adams. And so even though we're in the age of the portal, we have a number of great freshmen playing throughout this year that aren't getting as much attention as those elite freshmen leading the country in scoring, etc.
They want that. These kids are so talented. They're not normal freshmen. What they play all summers.
Ball crossing over, draws the foul. 8:39 to go.
Paul's going to finally go to the free throw line. I think he was there only once so far, right? One time. He's heading to be the all-time free throw made and free throw attempts here at Auburn. And today he's only been there one time.
He's really good, 86%. Although an unusual technique, and of course we put the kibosh on him right there. I say we.
When you say we, I just wanted to make sure everybody knows I didn't say a word.
It was Dickie and I actually together. That's all it takes.
He was jerky on that release.
Yeah, he does have a hitch. The first time I saw him shoot the basketball, I was watching the hitch in the shot, but he made like 15 straight threes from the top of the key. And certain guys, you don't mess with their technique when they have that type of success.
These are both very good foul shooting teams.
He's an 85% free throw shooter, Kid Hall.
Holloway drives it to the left hand, can't drop it in. Overton comes firing out of there, wants to go all the way through, and a whistle as he hits the deck. He got a full head of steam. He'll draw the foul.
Well, he left a good program to come here. He got really well coached there at Texas Tech.
Foul on Sherrill is his second.
You know, I don't like when you see Coach Pearl. One thing that bothers me, the lack of stability. I mean, the Kid Hall, for example, he's at George Mason, he's at Vegas, he's then at UCF, and now here. To me, that is not what college is about. They have to come up with a contract or come up with something to create some stability. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the best free agency in all of sports is college basketball. I mean, college basketball, you can go where you want to go anytime you want to do it. I mean, it's unbelievable getting loads of cash. Who can be highest bidder? I mean, 4 schools in 4 years, to me, is tough to deal with.
Jemison catches, fires off the back iron. Auburn crashing the glass. Auburn trying to retake the lead inside the last 8 minutes, and a whistle as again Hall gets going on the other end.
He created that foul. He did a great job creating. He saw a little opening and he attacked it. He attacked it like our producer attacks me right now. He said, wrap it up, wrap it up.
Gotta get out.
Studio, Vandy was down 20 and they're trying to rally late.
Well, a big-time play right there, a 4-point play right here. But it may be too late. Looks like it's 29 seconds and they're down 4, but they're fighting at home.
And Carolina's going to try to fight at home against Duke next on ESPN.
All eyes on the matchup. Caleb Wilson, one of the best players in college basketball, must-watch TV.
OB?
And Cam Boozer, probably right now, the man to beat for Player of the Year in the ACC and maybe the National Player of the Year. Pettiford off the inbounds. Rebound tapped around, and they're going to keep it right here. 7:48 to go.
Now, when you look at Cameron Boozer, what he's achieved and what he's done, all the big games he has come through, unbelievable every game. His consistency in big moments, and that's why Duke has got 1 loss. He has really been that valuable. I'd be shocked if he's not the National Player of the Year.
Well, Oates came over and he wants to challenge this. Wants a coach's challenge on the out of bounds. So Doug Schau's headed to the monitor. Coaches get 1 challenge per game, but they have to have a timeout. If the challenge overturns a call, that team will get 1 more challenge. And we'll come back with that decision, hopefully, right after this break.
To each of these teams.
I think it means a great deal down the stretch. You know, bottom line is you want some great wins now. You want momentum as the season's coming to an end. And it means so much. You can just see the pride they play with. I mean, we're sitting here, and I see here the sweat, and the unbelievable desire, the drive. I always talk in terms of motivational speeches about having the 4 Ds of life: desire, dedication, determination, and discipline of body and mind. And these kids represent that.
Bediako back on for Alabama. Under 4 to play at Auburn. Milan poked away from behind. That will be Alabama ball. Pettiford reaching around.
Auburn's a different team if Pettiford plays well.
80-79. And so far, all that we anticipated it was going to be when it's Alabama and Auburn.
At the end.
Yeah, great play by Tyler Tanner. He had 37, but he needed 39 to win the game. It's a great comeback, but they fall short at home against Oklahoma.
That's a pretty big surprise in the SEC. Coming up next, Cam Boozer and Duke taking on North Carolina. That is next on ESPN. For those of you looking for Akron and Troy, it's airing on ESPN News right now.
3:49 to go. Gentleman on the left needs to check his internet. When he buys tickets, he's in the wrong section. Alabama by 1. And the basketball. Pylon up top. He'll pull up and pop. Can't drain it. Rebound batted around. Good hustle by Hall.
He made a great rebound there, man. He came from way on the top of the circle. Now you're going to try to get a guy like Hall the ball on the inside. Has great ability getting fouled.
Pettiford trying to swing it, and it's knocked away.
He tried to make a spectacular pass. You don't need that.
Yeah,
he tried to make something sensational.
Yeah. Especially at this time of game, understanding time and score. That's the role of a point guard. Knowing when your team absolutely needs to get a quality shot, a turnover.
Are crucial late.
Allen with a rainbow triple knocks it down.
But that's what it turns into. That's what it turns into on the other side. A made three, even though it's a tough bucket for Amari Allen, that turnover turns into 3 points off turnovers on the other side.
It turns you down 4 points. You're 4 down now.
Alabama with the lead with 2:40 to go, and a whistle on the drive will stop the clock. Back to that jumper moments ago by Amari Allen, the freshman.
And one of the things that Stephen Pearl wanted to make sure happened against Alabama, they wanted all the threes to be contested. Even though that was a contested look, Coach Pearl just discussed it with the shot-making ability of the freshman Amari Allen, able to knock down that over a big contest by Tahad Pettiford.
So Hall to shoot 2.
Tell you one thing about Allen, he's got guard skills, and man, he's got great size, and he's a versatile player.
Keyshawn Hall, a senior from Cleveland, makes 2.
Here's a way of getting to that foul line.
And here comes the crowd again. Lifting, and that one swished in, and a whistle on the play as well.
Wow.
Deep into the corner by Holloway, who makes 44% and takes a hit 2 on the make.
You think that feels good to him? He played here at Auburn. He transferred from Auburn. He's got a taste of both schools. But man, he can shoot the rock. He can shoot the rock.
His first made 3-point
dancing.
field goal.
Let him dancing on the sideline.
Wow.
Get him on Dancing with the Stars.
Looking for a 4-point play, and how about that?
Wow.
So think about the last 2 possessions. 7 points on the last 2 possessions from Alabama, a 3, and then a 4-point play, making the 3 and getting fouled, allowing them to get a little separation with the 6-point lead.
Hall gets airborne and takes another hit. They're not making anything easy for him getting to the basket.
I'll tell you one thing, though. He gets fouled. He really does. He's going to become the all-time free throw made and free throw attempts here at Auburn. John Mengel had that record in 2008, former Detroit Piston. Tough, tenacious player.
Auburn, by the way, without a field goal in the last 2 minutes and 57 seconds.
They've been going to the free throw line, converting there to stay in the game. But as Corey said, you know, you give up 2 threes like they give up, especially one off after a turnover is deadly.
'87-83. Holloway, moments ago, a 4-point play, kind of stumbling into the lane, but he makes it anyway.
Unbelievable plays he's making. Unbelievable plays. They're saying, why did you get out of our uniform? We wanted you here. You haven't here today. We'd have an easy day. Wow. What a drive that was, Corey.
Auburn just determined to make a shot. Murphy gets a look. Yes, a 3.
Murphy shows big guys can step out and make a 3 too. not just the little guys.
Timeout.
Stephen Pearl fired up on that three.
We will take the break as well. Down the stretch we come, and a 3-point game.
There's traveling, and then there's seeing the world with Platinum. There's nothing like a stay that sets.
Aiden Holloway was 8 second half points, 6 in the first half, but most of his damage has been done attacking the basket. We know what type of shooter he is, but the big three that he made, a 4-point play, has allowed Alabama some separation.
Corey, they need to stop here defensively. They have not been able to control him.
Jarrell in the paint, and it's going to be stuffed right back in his face by Hall. Man, did that get physical?
Well, the SEC is physical. It's a physical league. They allow physicality to be played, especially when you've got a bigger player going up against a smaller guy. Pettiford getting back in the way of Sherrell, and Hall coming up with a great block on that possession. No harm, no foul.
I like Hall, man. They say he's got a long way to go defensively, but to me, this guy knows how to play. Hall's played on. Hall's on Holloway.
Got to get a shot off. 2 to get one in the air. Pylon, and that's a shot clock violation.
Well, they needed that defensive stop. They rose to the challenge. They rose to the occasion.
But give Keyshawn Murphy a tremendous amount of credit for the way that he has guarded perimeter players in this game. He switches off on the foul line and does a great job not getting in the air and fouling, using his length to force the shot clock violation.
That was easily a chance for him to follow right there. You're right, Corey.
Coming up on 1 minute to play. Alabama leading by 3. Auburn with the ball. Hall again, seeking contact.
He got the shot he wanted. He got inside. He got the shot he wanted. He normally converts that.
Look at this, Auburn in one-possession games without a win. Alabama is 2-0. Remember, Mark Sears hit a buzzer beater last year for Bama to win here. And a foul on Hall with 43.3 seconds to go.
But this is where Alabama is so dangerous down the stretch to be able to put the basketball in the hands of Holloway and Philon. You've got 2 elite guards, Dickie, that not only take care of business at the free throw line, but they make big shots as well.
Yeah, they really are good at the free throw line. This guy here is the one guy you don't want at the free throw line if you're the opposing coach.
But that's great coaching. That's Nate Oates making sure that guy has the basketball in his hands.
Oates does a terrific job. He really does.
Alabama in the second half, 12 for 13 at the line.
She's getting nervous. She's getting very nervous. Look at the scoreboard.
She's not alone.
Oh, wow. Oh, there's a lot of Auburn people getting nervous right now.
Holloway with another one coming. 81%. Makes the pair.
But nobody's more nervous right now than Stephen Pearl. I know that feeling, man. Your stomach is churning. You're getting that mail-ox out.
Pettiford over the top. The catch, now the rejection. Alabama buckling down defensively. Philon won't shoot it. They're going to run a little clock, and the foul to stop it with 28.4 seconds.
And again, although Alabama wants to play fast, it's a smart play. Holloway kicks it ahead to Philon. Philon recognizing time and score, brings it back out, gets it back to Holloway, their best free throw shooter, allowing him to go to the free throw stripe and try to make this a 3-possession game.
You know, that's a good point, because the bottom line is I don't believe a lot of kids know time and score. They just play. They just play. And you got players in the last 3-4 minutes understand where we are and what to do strategically.
That's because they used to learn that at 5-star basketball camp with you when you used to go in there and speak.
UB Brown, man. UB, Mike Fratello, my late buddy Richie Adebato, all 5-star guys.
I think he was a legend at those camps. And now on the run out, here comes Pettiford. Auburn in dire need of a basket. He delivers. 92-88 in a timeout with Stephen Pearl.
I don't care what he shot. He's a good player, that kid. Pettiford's got talent. Jersey guy. We got to stick together with our Jersey guys.
6'1" sophomore out of Jersey City. And a timeout, but time starting to run out a bit here for the Auburn Tigers in their bid to knock off Alabama. We go back to last year, they played a couple of spellbinding games, didn't they?
They needed this win.
Alabama pulling out that one. And here at Auburn, they had a dandy as well. 92-88 with 22.2 seconds to play. Dick, how does this one wind down?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Right now, you're in a situation where your back's really against the wall. If you're certainly Auburn right here, they got to come up with a stop, obviously.
You also understand that Alabama struggled to handle the basketball throughout this game. 13 turnovers. They have to make sure they get it inbounds.
Allen doubled up and a foul.
Well, they're following a rookie. They're following a freshman. So maybe he feels a little bit pressure. I don't think so. This kid just plays, man. He's confident.
Even though I agree, you get the right person at the free throw line, but I felt like Auburn had a good chance to get a trap right there and maybe give it a couple of seconds to see if they can get a turnover in comparison to fouling immediately and allowing Allen the opportunity to make it a 6-point game at the free throw strike.
So Allen will shoot 2.
He's made some big plays in this game. There's a big one right here.
73% and makes number 1.
Well, 21 seconds. There's a lot of trouble here if you're an Auburn fan right now because that's tough to make up, really. This
You're right about Allen, too. He's made 12 points in the second half. He's had a really fine second half when they needed him and makes both.
Clutch right there. Young guy goes to the line, clutch.
Pettiford on the drive and knocked away. They're going to count that as goaltending.
So here's the thing. Alabama does not have a challenge. If they had their challenge that they used with about 8 minutes remaining, they could go challenge that. And with a challenge, it probably would be successful. That basketball looked like it was still on the way up. Now, from our angle, I don't know if it hit the glass first.
You know, I was thinking the same thing, Curry. I thought that ball was going uphill. I was going to salute the guy with a great shot block, and I caught myself.
And Hall commits the foul. 13.3 to go.
So
I'm not sure
as you go to the basket, that's a good block. And when you consider the fact that Sherrill put the ball to the backboard with a challenge, that would have been a successful challenge, but Alabama had used it with about 7:54 remaining in the second half.
Now, the officials can't initiate that. The coaches can. Ask for the appeal. Ask for that to be challenged.
We said that earlier. We said that could come back to haunt you a little bit. But they gave up that one which we didn't think they should have challenged.
But if they take care of business at the free throw line, it won't come back to haunt them. Pylon now an opportunity to make it a 6-point game once again. And at this point, if you're Auburn on the other end, you have to start thinking about getting threes in comparison to driving it.
Hey, just think, people, after this game, North Carolina and Duke, then think after that game, Tennessee, Kentucky, and then after that game, think about, you'll see BYU, the score machine, the Mansa against Houston. I mean, if I was home and I was a young guy, I'd be sitting there with all day long, 4 hours watching every moment.
Absolutely nothing would get done, right?
I'd be drinking cranberry juice, and then I'd violate it by eating a lot of potato chips.
Pettiford with the drive, 6.9 seconds. Alabama trying to get it in here. And that's going to be a whistle off the ball.
Okay, so they're going to get Allen for the offensive foul. But you go back to the last possession. If you look at a three, let's say you make that three, and this exact same play happens, now you get the basketball with an opportunity to tie. But at the same time, now still it's a 4-point game. Yeah. So if you take a three, and if you're Auburn side, you hope you make it. But if you're able to make it a one-possession game, now you get the basketball back with 6.8 seconds to try to tie it with another three.
This is under review, by the way.
But by taking the two, now it's still a two-possession game.
Let me say something. I thought when they put the challenge rule in, it was going to reduce the number of times that going over to everybody was screaming and yelling, oh, that's great. I'm seeing a lot of guys go to that sideline, man.
Stands, common foul.
So they were just going over to look at this one to see if the elbow by Allen went above the neck or shoulders to see if that should be upgraded to a flagrant one. But it was not. The elbow was to the chest, the right call, offensive foul. But it will not give Auburn an opportunity to put more points on the board at the free throw stripe.
Yep.
So 6.8 to play, 4-point lead for Alabama. Alabama getting it exactly where they wanted, up near 100 points. With an outstanding second half for the Crimson Tide offensively.
Well, they're 6-0 when they scored this year, 6 times 100. They won every game.
Bedford in and out with a triple rebound.
That was
tapped out. Overton heaves it up there at the horn. It won't go, and that's your final. Alabama comes to Auburn again and knocks off the Tigers 96-92.
The first time since before Bruce Pearl that the Alabama Crimson Tide has won consecutive games at Neville Arena in this rivalry on the road.
Have a lot of fun, Dan and Jay. That's going to be a wild one. Mr. Wilson against Mr. Boozer. I'm jealous. It's going to be great.
Well, we had a lot of fun here today. Alabama wins at 96-92 for Corey and Dick Vitale.